And we have a little technical difficulty on the intro, of course.
You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds!
Sports, the infinite frontier. These are the rants, opinions, and discussions of the one and the only Sports Nerds. Their mission, to talk about the major headlines in sports news, drink beer, curse loudly, and heavily criticize their favorite teams. To boldly rant where no man has ranted before. And now, here are your nerds.
Get those nerds! Nerds!
Philip Ford,
Oh no! We suck again!
Max Andrews, and Cough.
You are a factory of sadness!
And everybody, welcome back to, I believe this is episode 28 now, that we're finally up to.
Woo! Sports back, baby!
Oh yeah.
It's been too long.
Oh yeah, it has definitely been too long.
I know, right?
A lot of drama going on.
So much.
I like that we were kind of waiting on Philip to get back to town so we could like do Sports Nerds together, and we still did it this way.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that's true, yeah, we're all in Columbus.
That's
But,
right, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, definitely, I'm sure we're gonna, well, we gotta get together and do what, fantasy football trophy and everything.
Yes, we have to do a trophy presentation. The Millennium Falcon is mounted and ready to go. Just need to give it off to our winner. I forget who our winner was.
Rondell
wasn't
Davis,
wasn't
that
us.
ass hat.
Huh?
I said Rondell Davis, that ass hat. I'm not
Rondell Davis. First champ.
Oh, God, I was so close. Oh.
And yet so far, Max.
There's always next year.
Hey man, at least you got the Broncos.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
I feel like it's going to be more of the same. I didn't expect the Broncos to get to the Super Bowl, and then I feel like now we're just going to lose just so that guy can be like, fuck you, Max.
It's going to be 2 years all over again. Just like the Seattle Super Bowl.
Oh, man. I just want a good showing. I just don't want to get our asses handed to us like the last time we went.
Yeah, your defense is much better though.
That's true. That is true. I feel much better about that. You just never know what Peyton's going to produce. So, you know, I'm just interested to see if we can get some offense going, and we might be able to hang.
I was gonna say, I think as long as Peyton doesn't implode, I think you'll hang. If Peyton makes mistakes, then yeah, you'll be done. As long as he can stay even, I think your defense is good enough, and I think Cam's great, but he just doesn't have that spectacular weapon that he needs. I mean, he's got himself, but if you play, you just got to play him like people used to play Michael Vick back in the day, and say, beat me with your arm, and he doesn't have that right now. If he had Kelvin Benjamin, I would have said yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going with the Panthers in this game. I think as good as the Broncos' defense is, I think it's going to be on Peyton Manning to do something. And, I mean, the Panthers' D is so damn good.
Yeah.
So damn good. And Peyton Manning is going to have to play like he played a couple of years ago, and I just don't think he has it. I mean, I don't know. This is either going to be a close one or I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be any of that in-between stuff.
Thanks.
I mean, Peyton Manning might need some more of that HGH if he wants to go out there and throw 300 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Okay, I say shoot him up. Go ahead and give him all the HGH. Like, what are they going to do? Test him before he's going to shoot him the HGH, win the Super Bowl, and then retire. And what are they going to do? They can't do shit.
No, you're right. It's not like they put him in like football jail.
Okay. Like, I still got these rings, bitch.
I got these rings.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I really want to see it. Because I agree with you. I think if that's why I said I think if Peyton doesn't make mistakes, if he can play a good game, like he doesn't have to play a great game, he just needs to play a good game. I think they will have a chance to win it. But I do agree with you that Carolina Panthers defense is really good, and if he makes mistakes or if he's going to get hit, it's not the same Peyton. It would be interesting to see how long. Oh gosh, what's the head coach of the Broncos? I can't forget.
Kubiak.
How long, if Peyton is not producing, not failing, but not producing, will he pull him?
I don't think so. I think they're gonna live by the sword and die by it. And I don't think it makes much sense to put in Osweiler, Brock Osweiler. Fucking, he isn't that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we had Aaron Rodgers sitting, if it was Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, then I'd be like, well, maybe you should put Aaron Rodgers in.
Yeah.
But we don't. He's fucking Brock Osweiler. I mean, like, he can not lose a game. He's not going to win it for you for sure. And if you're at the point where you're thinking about pulling Peyton Manning, then Brock Osweiler ain't going to do nothing for you.
Yeah. I think the only way Peyton would get pulled in this game is if he threw like 3 picks in the first half, something like that. I mean, it would have to be really bad for him to get taken out. He might even get injured in this game. I mean,
don't say that.
The Broncos O-line sucks. I mean, Luke Kuechly could just come out there and just fucking crack him, man, and just that could be it.
Don't say that, man. I mean, like, and everybody's that this is Peyton's last hurrah. So, I mean, I'm hoping he at least goes out with a good showing. I would like him to have as many rings as his brother because I feel like he's the better quarterback. But Peyton just never had that Eli luck. Like Eli could just luck himself into a championship. Sometimes it feels like to me.
Yeah. Well, Eli had the defenses. This is the first time Peyton's got a defense.
So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. But I didn't think they were gonna get here. We had the Patriots, and I was not expecting the game that we got for that playoff game. I was expecting a little more of what Carolina gave Arizona, but
I couldn't even believe that Arizona game. I mean, gosh,
that's surprising.
Carson Palmer looking like Carson Palmer.
Straight up buttholes. That's what he was looking like.
Oh my God.
A hot dumpster fire full of buttholes.
I heard he tried to throw himself off a bridge, and he even got intercepted then.
Oh my!
Buzzing!
Oh my! Yeah, that game was surprising to me. That beatdown, which is interesting. Yeah, it just kind of made me wonder. I was like, is that more a result of Arizona, or is that actually the Panthers? But I guess we'll find out this week.
No, I think it was the Panthers playing like they were easy, like they were loose. They were doing what they wanted to do, and then Arizona also imploded at the same time.
I agree. I totally agree. Arizona had Larry Fitzgerald in particular. So many drop balls. I mean,
wow.
It was just incredible. I mean, every time they try to get back in the game, Larry Fitzgerald, he's got dick fingers or something.
That's an awesome visual right there.
I fucking missed it.
Big black penises for fingers.
Oh my!
Just trying to catch him.
Oh god, that's terrible. That's terrible.
All right. Yeah. So I think
you like it.
I think we got Super Bowl 50 well covered there. Anything else you want to touch on the NFL?
Do you think that RG
actually do have something? Oh, do I think RG3 what?
Is going to get picked up by somebody and put in a franchise position next year? Because I feel like he's the sleeper.
Who is the question? I mean, if they can get him cheap, maybe. I could see that being a possibility, and they're just experimenting with him. But the only guy that would make any sense to even experiment with him would be Chip Kelly, and I don't know that San Francisco is going to be like, sure, let's give you 2 guys that are risk and flip a coin and see which one works.
I don't know. I think RG3's got the talent. He's been in a few years now. He's kind of got kicked to the curb. So this is where you do the comeback. Like you're like, hey man, we can get you in a good system. We can get you where he's not. Like I feel like Shanahan ruined him. I feel like if he had better handled the whole situation, then not ran him straight into the ground, then. And he wouldn't, like he got injured 2 or 3 times, and so he's not looking so great. But I mean, I feel like that was half coaching the problems. It wasn't RG3's problem, and he's got a good attitude.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They were talking about today on ESPN. Troy Aikman said it's either going to be Johnny Manziel or RG3 backing up Tony Romo next year in Dallas, and I could definitely see RG3 backing up Tony Romo next year and possibly be in the air to take him over. RG3 is from Texas. Tony Romo is 1 hit away from dying. So I think it makes perfect sense. I think if anyone's going to take him, I think it'd be somebody like the Cowboys. Not only that, they got one of the best O-lines in the game. They'll keep him upright. RG3 to Dez Bryant. Dez is in his prime. I think it'd be a good fit.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I think the Broncos should take him.
Yeah, I don't know about the Broncos. I don't think that would be a good match, honestly, man. I know you would love it for your own personal benefit, but I just don't think that's the right offense for him.
What do you know?
This is true. I am not a professional pundit, but then again, other than Max, the diehard Broncos fan. But honestly, like, I could see he needs to either go there. He needs to go with somebody that's a great quarterback coach and that will humble his ass, because his real issue was he got full of himself, and I agree Shanahan was an ass, and then he was also an ass, and then that relationship just nuked at that point when both decided to stop listening to each other and attacking each other. So if he can take a step back and actually sit down and learn, he needs to go somewhere with a great quarterback coach, and then with somebody that can use his talent and actually evaluate what his talent is at this point and decide, okay, can he run or should he not run because his knees basically are just one more hit away from his career being done completely, and actually turn him into a pocket passer. I think if they could do that, I could see what basically, I guess, the report on ESPN is ending up in Dallas, because you've got Jay Garrett, I think, is a head coach, and he's a quarterback guy. I could also see, because I think the Patriots, is it the Patriots? The Patriots have the quarterback guru. I can't remember his name.
Patriots, Josh McDaniels?
Yeah, Josh McDaniels.
He's all right.
He's the quarterback whisperer. He sucks at head coach. Don't you? Come on, man.
He can't draft for shit. He drafted Tim Tebow.
That is true. Who's the head coach then?
Worst draft pick of all time. God, Nico really needs to get in on this.
I know, man. I'm going to mute my microphone real quick and take care of this.
No worries, man. It's all good.
Nico, with his expert sports analysis, I don't think you can argue with what he said.
No, I agree. RG3 is done. That's what Nico said.
But anymore, I feel like the pocket passing is the main focus of anybody. They realize that you're not gonna really get it running and gunning. If he can calm down in there and use his legs just to get himself out of trouble, then I feel like he can still. I want him to make a comeback. I really like the kid. I don't know why, but I hope he does well.
So
wherever he gets.
And I guess my argument is, I was there and I heard about it all the time. Jay Gruden tried to get him and basically teach him to work with a baseball player to slide, and he refused. And I'm like, if that man doesn't learn how to slide, he is just going to destroy his knee. Yeah,
that's the truth. That is the truth.
And because I agree with you, I really think if he could actually use his legs appropriately, he could be in the same mold. Not as Cam. Cam's a freak of nature, because Cam can just run and just play like a running back. He's got to be worried in a few years that's going to end. What's that?
That dude, Cam Newton, plays like a tank.
Dude, he's a beast.
And then launch this just cannon for an arm. But I'm so nervous for the Super Bowl.
Dude, he's gonna eat you guys alive.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but I don't think we're gonna win.
He's gonna eat you guys for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I just really want to not get my ass kicked in this game. Anyway, all right. Yeah, I think that's all. Any more, Phil?
Yeah. So my own one little thing is, Tampa Bay Buccaneers here, right?
Well, yeah. First round pick, right?
No. Well, yeah. Well, of course, we have the first round pick. But,
number 1 pick?
No, not number 1. 9.
They didn't do that shitty?
Nope, not that shitty, man.
Browns got
to
number 2.
I believe.
Who got number 1?
Isn't that
Tennessee.
Jacksonville? Oh, it was the Tennessee.
Titans.
Yeah, that's right.
We would have got number 1, but we beat the Titans. So of all the games we had to win, it was against the Titans.
Titans were like, "Fuck you guys, we're getting the number 1 pick."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we lost to the Titans, so that's not saying much. But what was funny is because Lovie Smith got fired. For those that aren't aware, which was moderately surprising, but they decided to hire Dirk Cotter. That's what it is. And Mike Smith is the defensive coach, and the guy who's now the offensive coordinator, I can't remember his name, some unusual name. He was in college for a while. But what's funny, and this is just random to me, as I actually look back at their history, I'm like, how in the world did they pick this random dude to be their offensive coordinator? And they all were Jacksonville Jaguars coaches. So I have no idea what that says. They were all of them, coached at Jacksonville at one time or another. I think Mike Smith was the defensive coordinator. That's right. He's a defensive specialist. I was like, really? I was like, is this bad? I was like, I don't know if I want Jacksonville West, but I guess I'll see.
Was anyone a coach when Jacksonville actually did well that one year?
With David Garrard, when they actually set records?
I guess.
Yes, offensive records, and defensive records, but I think they were 8-8 or 9-7.
Yeah.
Not saying much.
It's not looking good, man. It's not.
No, I know.
Well, speaking of coaching changes, the Browns got a new head coach, Hugh Jackson, or as I like to call him, Huge Action. He was the offensive coordinator for the Bengals, and used to be head coach for the Raiders when they went 8-8, and then he got fired by the crazy Al Davis family. Yeah. And he was the one. He actually coached. He was the quarterback's coach for Flacco when Flacco first got drafted by the Ravens, and then the past 2 years he's been the offensive coordinator for the Bengals. And coincidentally, those have been the 2 best statistical seasons in Andy Dalton's career. So I'm liking the hire. And they're going with the whole analytics angle. We got the guy Jonah Hill played in the movie Moneyball is now going to make a draft picks for us, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we've tried everything else. We've literally tried everything. So, I mean, might as well try the Moneyball technique.
It's not going to help you.
Hey, you got to be optimistic. In my position, you have to be optimistic. And then after the first couple of games when we get blown out, then we start heavily drinking, and then we get all depressed.
You're the Browns fan. You have to remain optimistic. I can be on the outside looking at the real world and tell you what's going on.
Right here, pal. Do it with the baby here.
Yeah. Oh, man, I can't wait till that foul-mouthed little shit starts talking back to his teacher.
Oh, dude, he's going to be so bad. I can't even control him now.
Oh, yeah, and I figured, all this talking about firing coaches, I think that transitions right to the jersey that Mike's wearing. The Cavs fired David Blatt, which is surprising in the middle of the season. I would have figured they would have done it at the end of the season when they weren't happy, but I guess they wanted to get another try.
Yeah, so what happened with this was, so if you guys don't know who David Blatt was, last year was his first year ever coaching in the NBA. He coached for this Israeli national team or whatever, this for the Israeli league, and he won like 9 titles. He was amazing. He was like the Phil Jackson of the Jews, and they hired him before LeBron came back. They hired him thinking that he was going to coach Kyrie and this young Cavaliers team. Well, LeBron's like, well, I think I'll go back to Cleveland. And so then they're like, okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, we'll have you back, LeBron. And they got Kevin Love, and they formed this super team. And so David Blatt's like, okay, I got to coach this super team. Did not know what the hell he was doing. And despite him not knowing what the hell he was doing, they went to the finals, lost, but they went to the finals. And so LeBron doesn't like David Blatt. And he was like, okay, we didn't really gel last year, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt this year. They were number 1 in the East, but they actually could have been better. They got blown out by Golden State by like almost 40 points, which is pathetic. And basically the GM and the team was just like, we've seen enough. He's got to go. And then they promoted Tyronn Lue. Now, Tyronn Lue played in the league for a while, won a couple of rings with the Lakers back in early 2000s, coached with Doc Rivers for a couple of years. He was actually the highest paid assistant coach in the NBA. And they were actually going to groom him to take over for Blatt eventually when they brought him along. So it was just a matter of time before they got rid of Blatt, but I'm happy about the move. Everyone's complaining, oh, they were in first place. It's like, yeah, but if you watch the Cavs games like I do, you know they were playing like shit. Kevin Love is there for like a couple of games, then he disappears for 2 weeks, then he comes back for a game, and it's just, and his rotations are terrible. So I like the move. I like the move a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. I actually think it was a good move. I was surprised that they did it now and not sooner, but I kind of understood. I actually read more about it, and I guess it was LeBron playing nice this year, trying to make it look like it did, not like it did last year, where it basically was like LeBron was leading the team. But apparently that was still there, and the problem was now it was actually even getting worse. It was basically the younger players were starting to do what LeBron was doing, at which point you don't even have a head coach. He's just standing there just to be cool.
Correct.
Wearing a suit.
If I was that guy, I would have been buying all them players steaks. I've been like every time we win a game, like we're going out to the strip club. It's on me. Anything to keep those guys just like yeah. All I gotta do is stand here, and you guys make me look good, and then we can work from that. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he played it right. He had to have a little ego about it, and they started butting heads. And you got LeBron. You got this team that is set up to win games. Let them win games. You can just not do anything. Isn't that better? Isn't that much better?
Yeah. He basically this year was LeBron giving David Blatt the benefit of the doubt, giving him a chance to prove himself, and he basically couldn't. So it was a whole reason why they traded away Andrew Wiggins. LeBron wants to win now. He doesn't want to groom Andrew Wiggins to be good in the next 3 or 4 years. He needs players that can contribute now, that have been there, know what the hell they're doing. That's why they got Kevin Love, and he didn't want this beginner head coach. And it's, if I was watching the Clippers game last week. This was right after they got blown out by Golden State. David Blatt is just standing there on the sidelines, whatever, trying to coach, and Tyronn Lue keeps tapping him every time they tell him to foul DeAndre Jordan. They play that hack a DeAndre Jordan strategy. They hack the shitty free throw shooters, and it worked. But it was funny because he was taking his cues from Tyronn Lue, and it's like, dude, who's the head coach here? Who's making all these decisions? And it's like, so the writing was on the wall. It was just he got his shot this year. And despite their record, the chemistry wasn't there. They were winning in spite of him, and so it was good. I think it was kind of bullshit that Popovich took a shot at the Cavs because Golden State blew out the Spurs by like 30 points, and Greg Popovich was like, "Well, I'm glad the GM wasn't in our locker room, or else I would have gotten fired." And it's like, screw you, dude. Like, get the hell out of here, man. You don't know our situation. So it's just. Yeah, well, I think they're better for it. They have plenty of time. The playoffs don't start till April, so they got 3 months here to get ready. So I think it's plenty of time for them to gel. Tyronn Lue has already called out Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving saying, forget about your brands, start focusing more on being a team, all this shit. So I think it's going to be good. So,
Mike, I think you're the king of the segue. You mentioned the Clippers. Clippers, right?
Yeah. You said the Clippers.
Yeah, and they have some interesting news this week. Blake Griffin plays for the Clippers, correct? Yes?
Yep.
All
Very
right.
good. Keep going.
Yeah, Blake Griffin just got healthy, just got ready to play his first game back, and then decides to break his hand, punching one of his good friends in the face multiple times.
Who's never done that?
I've never done that.
I haven't
Okay,
either.
me
Um, now, like, I don't know what it is with these stars, but it's like your body is your only monetary anything. If you can't play, then you don't get paid. Like, that's just how it works. So why would you risk? I mean, like, we got a guy blowing off 3 fingers in a freak firecracker accident, and then this dude, Blake Griffin, he was already injured. He's just now trying to come back. The first week he can come back, breaks his hand on this dude's face. What an idiot.
Yeah. It was funny what you were our segue earlier, Max, before the cast here we were talking about. I thought 2016 was going to be better, and I guess not. People still do stupid things to injure themselves and take themselves out. Yeah, this blew me away because it's not like, and I think he's a coach as well for the team in some way.
Yeah, he's like an equipment coach.
Yeah.
He's something.
Yeah, he's the head equipment guy, I think, or something. But yeah, I mean, how stupid do you have to be? I mean, he probably thought he wasn't going to break his, hand, hitting the dude in the face. But I mean, I don't know. It's just immaturity. Bottom line.
Now,
And these guys get all this money. They think they're invincible and they can do whatever they want. And it's like, you can't, man. You can't light fireworks in your hands. You can't punch your equipment manager in the face.
and good friend. And good friend.
And he happens to be your friend. Like, who punched
They went on
your friend in the
vacation together.
face?
I mean, now, when you're punching somebody, you're going to want to keep your fist open. All right, Blake? Now, I'm going to tell you. You're going to keep your fist open a little bit, and then you're going to try to hit him over here on your fist. That'll keep your hand from breaking next time you punch your good friend in the face.
Yeah, I think he might need those boxing lessons, Max. We might have to fly you out there.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, his first week back.
Yep. Yeah, it blew me away, especially because it wasn't like even if you read the report, it wasn't like he punched him a few times right as he was standing in front of him. No, he hit him once. Guy got up, walked away to try and get out. I guess probably not deal with it anymore. And Blake got up, went after him, and hit him again. So my question still is, when did he break his hand? Was the first hit, or maybe it was like what you said, Max? Like he's like, oh my God, he got more insulted because apparently he didn't knock the guy out, so he came up and then he hit him again the second time, all his might, and that's when the hand just went, nope, I'm done.
I mean, now, Mike, if you are gonna punch your good friend in the face, and your first punch is completely ineffective, do you keep on punching him from there, or do you decide, like, you know what, maybe I just shouldn't be doing this?
You're muted, Mike.
Yep, he's working on it. He's trying to get big.
I got a little technical difficulties here.
Well, Mike's out. Nico is demanding much attention, so Mike will be out for a minute. But yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see how this happened.
I don't either. I'm right there with you, Max, because it's an altercation. Sure, I can understand, but the fact that you're gonna hit him multiple times, it's like maybe because I agree with you. I think at some point it's gonna disturb you and go, wait a minute, maybe I'm not hitting hard enough. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he doesn't want to be involved. What's going on?
Maybe I should go to the gym, or something. Like, so I just don't know. Oh wow, like yeah, that's just so insane. And then like, you're the star of the team, and you're just coming back. Maybe just take it easy, Maybe don't go out to the bar.
Yeah, I don't think he knows how to do that, man. I think that's just a general problem we've kind of discovered here.
But all right, well let's keep it going with NBA stuff. Who's on top right now?
So right now, of course, Golden State, since they've blown out the Cavs and the Spurs. They're actually pushing. We'll see. I mean, was it 7 losses that the Bulls had or 8?
I think it was 7.
Okay. So right now they're 41-4. So they actually have a chance. I mean, everyone always says everyone has a chance, but the problem is it's still so early in the season, really.
It's April's when the playoffs is.
Exactly. Well, no, because the question was, right, whether or not that Bulls record was ever going to be broken. And
We'll see. I don't think so, but that's just because I was growing up and watching basketball when it happened. So that's kind of like my golden years, Like I got to watch Michael Jordan play basketball, so I hope it doesn't happen because Michael Jordan's my best. I didn't want to see Kobe beat any of his records. I don't want to see anybody else beat the Bulls records. I mean, Michael Jordan's the only guy to go to 6 championships and win 6 rings. That's just. I don't want to see that broken. LeBron is already out. He can't do it. We'll see how Steph Curry does. Kobe can't do it. It's just like we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I was going to say the team, but I think Duncan's going to be done before they even have a chance because I think he has to win 2 more. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm actually impressed. Kerr has impressed me a lot considering he went from being a GM. He was somewhere in the front office. And he basically, I think he went to announcing again, or he did front office. I don't know which, but one of the two. And then randomly, Golden State calls him up, hey, you want to be a head coach? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a head coach. And I'm like, what? I didn't know he wanted a head coach.
Can't say he doesn't have experience. He worked under one of the best coaches in the freaking game. Like
for one of the best players ever.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe a little Phil Jackson rubbed off on him, and he took that and ran with it. And you can't scoff at the results. I mean, they're killing it out there.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, they were ridiculous last year. I thought they were amazing, and then now they're doing even better. I didn't think that was possible. I thought they would do good. I thought they would win. I didn't know if they'd be number 1 or not, but I figured they'd do well. But
yeah.
This is impressive, and what they're doing to really good teams, they're taking almost. And it really, I guess it is. You're right. It's Phil Jackson because they're taking the same model that he used for the Bulls, which was we have some really good players, two superstars, I would say. Back in the day, you didn't argue that there was 2. You argued that there was absolutely 1, and a really good team surrounding them. And essentially, that's what Kerr's doing with this team is he's got 2 superstars, and he's not making his superstars do anything on offense. They can do it when they need it. But they don't have to, and it's blowing me away because I'm curious because I agree with you. I didn't think anyone would ever touch that win-loss record. I thought maybe a consistent team like the Spurs might challenge the championship records in the short amount of time. No one is ever going to touch Phil Jackson's championship records. I don't believe that.
Sorry about that, guys.
No problem. He got his
being a dick.
He's got to show you who's boss, man. He's laying down the law.
Yeah, right. That's what we're talking about.
We are all over Golden State's dick right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 41-4, and basically saying that I'm impressed that the fact that they've gotten to this point. One that Kerr came out of the woodwork, really, because I think he was an announcer. He was a president somewhere of a NBA organization. And then became
he was with the Suns, I think. He was with the Phoenix Suns, yeah.
And kind of what I'm impressed by is the fact that they're 41-4, and they're basically doing it without Curry and Thompson always dominating an offense. They just seem to be a great team.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're a great team, top to bottom, but it'll be interesting to see. I want to see what they can do in a 7-game series. They're a big-time shooting team. They live and die by the 3 and the jump shot, and they don't really have anybody besides Draymond Green to really get it done in the paint. I mean, they got Bogut, but, I mean, Bogut kind of sucks. So I like to see them in a 7-game series against the Spurs or the Cavs. Because both those teams can get it done in the paint. I just don't know if I just don't know if Golden State's got what it takes come playoff time, come deep in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And plus, the West seems like they're a little bit weak this year, in my opinion. The East is looking a lot better with you got Miami, Cleveland, obviously, Chicago, Toronto.
Wait a minute.
The West is kind of depleted, really. It's kind of top heavy, basically, is what I'm saying.
Has Derrick Rose played 5 games this year?
Well, yeah, he has. They beat the Cavs the other night.
Over.
They beat the Cavs the other night, but if you go look at the NBA records right now, I think the top 8 in the East have winning records, and the top, maybe it's like the top 6 or 5 in the West have winning records. I think
7 actually now.
Okay,
the Rockets
7.
are 25 and 22.
Okay, yeah. So that's so I don't know. So I think maybe they're a product of a couple of things. One, they're a great team, obviously, returning champs. But at the same time, though, I don't know if it's all their credit or they're also playing weaker opponents, I guess.
The Lakers.
Yeah, the Lakers.
Oh yeah, we talk about Kobe's last hurrah. Freaking, he's taking the tour. He's getting standing ovations everywhere he goes. The last time he's playing in X, Y, and Z stadiums. How do you feel about Kobe retiring? Let's talk about the Black Mamba.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I felt he should have retired a few years ago, but there are times where he can play well, but I don't know. I guess he's always wanted to be. I guess my problem always with Kobe is he's wanted to be the center of attention. He's never really wanted to accept being part of the team, except when Phil Jackson yelled at him and told him to be part of the team. So I guess that's always been my problem. I love to watch him play just one-on-one by himself. It's fun. He's an amazing talent, but overall, just as a team, because to me this is depressing because I was looking at that and I was like, I didn't think Los Angeles was going to be. I knew they were going to be a bad team, but I didn't think they were going to be a 9-win team. They only have 9 wins right now.
Wow.
To me, that's just a horrible way to go out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw the last game that Kobe's in. He's injured, so he's wearing a suit. He kicked another dude off the bench and made him sit on the floor.
That's awesome.
He's not even playing.
If I'm Kobe Bryant, I'm doing that. Fuck yeah.
You could get a folding chair. No.
And give me another chair for my rings.
I hope he wore all those rings to that game so he could just smack somebody out of the
Yeah. Yeah. To me, with Kobe, I look at it as kind of like the Derek Jeter farewell tour. The Yankees didn't. The Yankees were in contention at least last year, but they announced their retirement either before the season or right at the beginning of the season, and it's going to help the Lakers sell tickets. It's going to help whoever they play sell tickets to go see Kobe Bryant one last time. In my opinion, I think Kobe's the closest thing to Michael Jordan since Michael Jordan. Not only with the championships and the Phil Jackson, but he has got that Michael Jordan killer mentality where it's like you either get on my level or you get the hell out of here type of mentality. That killer instinct. It's I'm taking the last shot. I want the ball every time. He's selfish, but he's selfish for all the right reasons type of thing. Granted, though, he did rape somebody. I still think he's amazing. It's gonna suck to see him go just because he physically can't do it anymore. I think the biggest crime that we ever saw that went down though in his career is that we never got to see him play LeBron in an NBA Finals. I remember it was back in 2009. Everyone thought it was going to be Kobe and LeBron, penciled in for the NBA Finals. Didn't happen. They ended up playing the Magic, but sucks to see him go.
That's close enough, right?
Yeah, right.
That's
Dwight
enough.
Howard, yeah. Sorry, we couldn't get you LeBron. How about Dwight Howard? And then you'll play with him in a few years from now, and you'll kick him off the team.
Shut up.
But I think you got Golden State. Then you got San Antonio, who's actually 38-7, and then of course you've got the Cavs. So I think a lot of that was already expected. The only thing that maybe somewhat unexpected was how terrible the Pelicans have been doing. But Then again, I
Yeah.
guess
Wait,
Yeah.
who the fuck are the Pelicans?
New
They
Orleans.
were the Hornets last year or 2 years ago.
Oh,
Mr. Unibrow.
I'm a little bit behind. I heard some people talking about
Give me a second here.
Sure, no worries, man. It's all good.
this is a new development. Mike is a good father. I was going to say that right now. Because I would have been like, all right, baby, you're just going upstairs. I'm doing my podcast right now.
Nice.
All right, you'll be fine.
Yeah, because Charlotte wanted the Hornets back.
Okay.
Now they're the Hornets again. Which is surprising because I really think New Orleans should have got the Jazz back from Utah because that actually made sense. I didn't know that. Did you know that? The
I didn't
Jazz
know that they
originally
came
from New Orleans.
but-
Yeah.
But that they were in Utah where there is no Jazz made no sense to me at all. The Jazz was all of the Jazz in Utah.
Yeah, I always wondered about where that came from, and then when they did all these changes, that's when I found out. I'm like, oh, well then why in the hell didn't they ask for the Jazz back?
Yeah, and like, why not change the name? You know, like when you're moving to Utah and there's no Jazz, why do you keep that name?
Yeah. You got to watch the beginning of Basketball,
Right.
the movie Basketball, when they talk about how all those teams moved, and the Minnesota Lakers moved to Los Angeles where there are no lakes, and the New Orleans Jazz moved to Utah where they don't allow music.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely gotta check that out.
The Oakland Raiders moved to Los Angeles and then back to Oakland. No one seemed to care.
That's very true. Speaking of, there we go. We can talk about that. Good segue, Mike. You're the man. The Los
Segue.
Angeles Rams.
I am killing it tonight.
Mike is just feeding it. He's like Magic Johnson right now. You don't know where
That's
that's
right.
from.
Just facilitating binkies to babies and and segueing to topics.
Exactly. See, that's true magic right there. You got the whole court. You're seeing it. You're keeping the baby happy, and you're feeding the topics.
Just dishing it.
But
All right. So what are we talking about?
did you know that the Rams have officially moved to Los Angeles?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. I was so worried about Blake Griffin's hand.
Of course you were.
Dr. Max Andrews over there.
Hey man, he's a hell of a guy, and he just hates his poor hand. But all right, so yeah, LA has a football team again.
Yep.
And they're building some ridiculous stadium to commemorate having an LA team in Inglewood.
Yes, in Inglewood. I can't remember. That's fun. Oh,
Inglewood
wow.
always up to no good.
You know what's hilarious? I Google Los Angeles Rams to figure out, what you're talking about to get more detail. First thing is, just how close are the Los Angeles Rams to a Super Bowl appearance? That's ridiculous. They were okay last year. I don't know about getting the Super Bowl next year. They don't have a quarterback.
I mean, they
You just gotta love it.
It was
man.
going again. It's Binky time.
But yeah, I remember it just blew me away because I was like, St. Louis actually fought hard to try and keep their team. San Diego was getting to the point where like, F off, we don't care anymore. And Oakland was like, hey, we'll move in. And it's hilarious because
Oakland's like ready to go anywhere.
He hates it.
Excuse me.
Stand
No worries.
that St. Louis is moving to LA. He fucking hates LA. He's like, fuck that city. I'm happy inclined to agree with him.
And you didn't know it, but he was a St. Louis Rams fan. He's upset. But yeah, like I don't know. It blew me away. I was like, really? Could Manning play for the LA Rams next season? Oh my god. I'm assuming that means Eli. That is hilarious. They turned into Los Angeles Rams, and they are now like top of the news feed. They've got stuff going out every few hours, but I guess that's why the NFL wanted them there.
What was their record? What is their record so far? Thought
they
you
were
were
8-8.
saying, but you're not.
They were 8-8, Max.
8-8 last year.
Yep.
What are or this season? This last season, because it's pretty much over.
I'm pretty sure they were 8-8. I'll verify. I'm going to NFL.com right now, but
But
the year before that, they were like 6 wins. Like, they have Jeff Fisher. So, I mean, he's proven, with a mediocre quarterback when he had, was that Steve McNair back in the day?
Yep.
Yeah, Aaron McNair. He got them to a Super Bowl. Couldn't win it with him, but
nope.
let's see.
St. Louis Rams. Yeah, I mean, the last time I remember them being relevant was when they almost went, or they went to the Super Bowl and crapped out.
Oh, no, the Rams were relevant way back in the day.
Yeah, way back.
With Kurt Warner before he did his second curtain call.
His second coming.
Yeah, exactly, because it really was the second coming. Most people don't realize that. But yeah, they were. They were only 7-9 this past year.
Oh, okay.
I think the year before that, they only won 6 games.
Well, that's pretty fucking shitty. Yeah, dude, I don't see them. I mean, going to the Super Bowl next year, no. Could they possibly, recruit some talent, build a team, shock the world in a few years? Why not? They got James Laurinaitis on the D, so he's a Buckeye, and it's always good to have a Buckeye on your team. But other than that, no.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you there, Max. I think it's too soon. Plus, I think they need a quarterback. I mean, Nick Foles is okay, but from what I remember, they've got Gurley now. So long as he can stay healthy,
yeah,
he's a beast.
Yeah, if he's not like Ricky Ticky injury prone, then he can prove to be something. But yeah, I just don't see it unless they're like the Great White Hope.
Yeah, I think the Rams need to draft a quarterback next year. Definitely draft a quarterback, get one in free agency, trade for one, do whatever. Because Foles ain't the answer. But they got Gurley, they got a good defense. So I mean, there's your running game, there's your defense. You just need a quarterback now, and I think they'll be all right. But I mean, I don't see them competing for the playoffs anytime soon. But I think, as long as if they get a quarterback that's good, they can turn it around. My opinion.
Do you think that the Los Angeles Rams are going to pick up RG3?
They could.
And win
I tell you one thing, the Rams they scouted Johnny Manziel very highly coming out of college.
Who gives a fuck about Johnny Manziel? I
don't anymore. I tell you that much.
Out drinking. That guy's
dumped him.
The time of his life.
Yeah. But I'm just saying though.
I think Johnny
Manziel, he's gonna go somewhere.
I think he knows that he fooled everybody with his college play, and right now he's just like, screw it. I'm young. I'm gonna live. As he's gonna do what the kids say. YOLO, and just like party like he can't party in a few years when everyone realizes he's not an NFL quarterback.
Well, he fooled everybody in Cleveland, including myself, the past 2 years that he actually gave a damn about us. He obviously didn't. So he faked a concussion to go party in Vegas. Who fakes a concussion to go party in Vegas on Pittsburgh Steeler week?
This guy.
But it's like, hey, this is the last game of the year. You want to be the starting quarterback in Cleveland? You've been playing all right. So here's your last chance to prove yourself that you should be our starter. He goes, okay, well, I faked a concussion, going to Vegas to party.
Yeah, man. Hookers, cocaine.
He even wore a disguise so people wouldn't notice him.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Awesome.
Yeah,
So,
he had like long blonde hair or something.
Yeah, called himself Billy.
That's awesome.
He kept demanding that every place would comp him because he didn't have any cash on him, so he didn't want to leave a paper trail with his credit card. So he kept asking everybody if they would comp him.
He's like, hey, I'm Billy Manziel.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Johnny Manziel's brother. Will you comp me?
I like to party.
That's hilarious. That's what his game should have been. He should have said, I'm the brother of Johnny Manziel. Can you just bill him? Hey, he's not here right now, but you just bill him and he'll pay, I promise.
Yeah. Just start a tab.
Just
Exactly.
just withdraw $10,000. Mayweather walks around with $1 million in a bag all the time.
We should rob Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, yeah, try that.
Well, not with our fists.
I'm not gonna fight Floyd Mayweather.
We're not gonna fight him. We'll like
How are you gonna
tase
rob him
him.
without fighting him?
We will tase him or shoot him with a dart. Some kind of
I
sedative.
like the dart plan. I'm down.
We'll meet up with Bill Cosby. We'll get some drugs,
Oh, Bill Cosby's got that good shit too.
and we will knock him out with a dart. Take his bag, and then we will dart out of there.
Get a Dodge Dart.
Oh my god.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I can't run with that as a segue for Bama being national champions. Sorry, I tried.
Screw Bama.
Yeah, I was surprised that kind of played out the way it did, but I guess the SEC is back. I don't know if I believe that.
Nah, they're not back.
I mean, they just got lucky that we laid down for Michigan State is all. That's all that happened.
Yeah. I agree.
I see. I touched a very sore point here.
Well, I mean, Alabama's a great team. Let's not belittle them. They were a solid team. They're the Heisman Trophy winning running back. Henry is just an animal, and I wouldn't want to stand in front of that guy when he was coming straight at me. That dude is just a ridiculous talent. They had a solid team, and they deserved the win for sure. But I think it would have been a much better game if a certain team called the Buckeyes had been playing. I think the games might have been a little better.
I think it would have been a better overall college football playoff if Ohio State and Stanford were in instead of Oklahoma and Michigan State. Be honest with you.
Well, that's pretty much true. I would have to agree. I mean, the scores kind of showed that.
Yeah.
2 beatdowns and then the final.
No, shut out? Really? like you don't come from the Big Ten? Could you just have a little pride, please?
Yeah. I mean, Wisconsin didn't even get shut out by Alabama.
Give me a
Oh, that is true. I forgot about that.
They played the first game of the year.
Oh man, Wisconsin was kind of holding on there for a little bit. I thought that they might be able to, if they could get some miracle mojo worked up, they might have been able to turn that game around because they weren't losing it, for very, or after a while, Alabama just ran away with it. But I thought they were doing a lot. They were doing a lot better than I originally thought they were going to do when the game started.
Yeah. And as good as Henry is, I don't think he's going to be that great of a pro running back, to be honest with you. He can't cut. He doesn't have any lateral quickness. He can run downhill, but I mean he can't I don't see him making a cut,
And also in college, that's when you really get banged up. I feel like a lot of these guys get a bunch of their mileage in college in a system like Alabama runs, where it's just we'll give it to Henry. We have one play, give it to Henry, and then the other play is try to give it to Henry, but if you can't, then I guess we'll have to do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting. I was definitely surprised at the outcome of the first 2 games, but then what was more surprising was the fact that the final was as high scoring as it was. I didn't expect that from Bama, but I guess Bama proved that they could throw the ball around a little bit this year.
I mean, Clemson is one of those shocker teams that are just going to hit you quick for some points and then and just, rack up a good score. So and everyone's talking about Alabama's defense, saying that they were going to hold them down. Obviously they won, but
Oh yeah.
I wasn't surprised at the score just because Clemson, they are that team. They're going to score a bunch of points, and Alabama's well, what we have to do is score more points, and they had the right plan for it. They got a little loose with it, aired it out a little bit, and here we are, a national championship later.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, that's it as far as topics that I've got. Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh man, other than the Broncos going to the Super Bowl, can we talk about that again?
I mean, they're there. So I think we got that one in there. But I mean, if you want to talk about it again,
Mike, you got anything else?
The two starting wide receivers for the Panthers are Buckeyes. The starting safety for the Panthers
OB.
is a Buckeye.
Yeah.
One of the starting corners for the Broncos
Roby.
is a Buckeye.
Telling you,
That's
man,
all I got.
you have a Buckeye on your team. It's good to have a Buckeye.
Yep. Even before that, earlier in the playoffs, I mean, there was a shitload of Buckeyes. A bunch of them played for the Steelers.
oh yeah, there's definitely quite a few.
Yeah,
All right.
Steelers know how to pick a Buckeye. They know that Santonio Holmes won them the Super Bowl that one year. Steelers know. It's good to have a Buckeye on your team. Everybody else in the NFL, pay attention. Get some Buckeyes. Draft them. First round. It's worth it.
That would be
Hell
interesting. I guess it can't be. Well, Miami did that a few years back, where they had like 6 or 7 in the first round.
Yeah, Ohio State will have that this year. They'll probably have, I'm
Oh,
going
yeah.
to say maybe 7 in the first round.
I was going to say, as the years go on, especially the way Urban Meyer recruits, I mean, that's basically kind of what the Gators were. Is if nothing else, he knows how to pick professional talent that will be effective. Whether or not they will be great on the NFL, it's another story.
Or if they murder people.
Yeah,
That's true too.
Yeah. Like Aaron Hernandez.
that's never good for your career if you become a murderer. It kind of kills everything. No
Kills
fun.
the mojo. All right. Well, we'll definitely have to say thank you all for joining us tonight. We check us out on iTunes as well as we're bringing it back. We've got pretty much quite a few of our podcasts showing up. Frady Geeks. There we go. That's the other new show that we just started this week. And I'm trying to think of anything else new. Nope. Shell and Sofa has now come back. Animaniacs is going. And then our usual podcast, just for anyone who happens to catch this one and is wondering where we're at, we show up on Sundays now. But definitely like us. If you have any comments, let us know. If you like us, let us know. If you hate us, let us know. Come on, man. Either way, we'll
first
take it.
hater on the main cast.
Yep, and we will take a hater here if that's all we get here.
Yeah. And if you are a hater, let me know where you live so I can come over and punch you.
And break your hand because I'm Blake Griffin.
That's right. Blake Griffin your ass.
Ineffectual punches breaking my own hand.
All right. No, breaking hands. We're out.
Well, hold on. Don't hit the button. Did you hit the button?
Button yet,
Mike?
May the sports be with you. That's our new thing.